it's been some success to a lot of you guys having to be spiritual. It's been some no good success to a lot of you guys, because I'm so alive. I hope you're alive, man. I'm so alive, so alive, so alive, so alive, so alive. It's been a long time ever since I said this, man. I'm so alive. I hope you're so alive. Like, you don't want to be a part of your spiritual essence because okay, first of all, you are spiritual. Everything about you is spiritual. Everything that you do in your life, it's all about the great awareness. If you see what's really happening in your life, because so many people, they don't really see or have the time and opportunity for them to understand what's really going on around them or around their lives, right? It becomes very difficult. But there's something that I've realized, that people, they are doing spirituality because they see a mass of people doing it as well. Sometimes when you see people having to follow this huge crowd, you should always be worried, right? Why is it that the whole world is going to this direction, right? You should always be that person, like I want to go the opposite way, right? Instead of going where people are going, I want to go the other way. Not to say that you're not gonna be spiritual. Like I'm saying, everything about you is spiritual. But the moment when you see the mass of people going to one direction, chances are those people might not actually go where they're supposed to be. They could be that these people are being trapped and they're just being coerced. They don't even know. Because if there's gonna be something that a group of people have to do to convince other groups of people, that have to like show them that their intentions are good when they are not. It's just like an image, right? It's like politics, the pro wrestling, whereby you see that these people are actually fighting each other when they are really not, right? It's just so it can be there in public for the mass to be coerced in that type of way. So it's what I've noticed, that many people, they've started to become spiritual because they see that it's something that's actually trending. And if you're that person, like, you don't really know what you're doing, because I've noticed that so many people that come and interact with me, they're doing it because they only want to be spiritual because they want to break. I don't know what is it that they want to break, that might be like something that's standing in their way not to actually have a success. Or some people, their intentions is to actually make money out of it, and as soon as they realize that, you know what, there's no money that's coming in, and they really like get frustrated that why is it that things are not actually working out well. They told me that I should actually do this, I should actually be spiritual this way, I should actually manifest this and this and that, and it's not actually working out. Why? Because your intention from the first place was you having to be spiritual, because you saw that so many people, they are doing it and it's actually working for them, not knowing that is it really working for them. Because it's one thing whereby you see somebody else pretending or claiming that they got their success ever since they became spiritual. It wasn't like a sense of that. They actually came with it because everybody has money, man. Money is an energy. If you know how to direct that energy and the pure essence of your true energy source that's within, things literally like going to open up, man. Like, what about the people that are not entirely spiritual, but they've been actually having it bad, but for some reason things turn up to actually open up? It's all about energy, man. If your star sign is not actually at the essence of receiving any amount of money, it won't actually happen. But no matter what is it that you can do, it'll never happen until that energy connect with another frequency that will actually bring forth money into your life. Then things start to unfold. So if you're just gonna be a spiritual person just because you saw many people, they are doing it and it's actually working out for them, so many people out there, man, they're not really genuine about it. People are not really genuine about their spiritual essence, because like some people, they don't want to be even truthful to the things that they've actually went through in their lives, or even try to actually go back and heal them, because definitely, man, it's going to catch upon them. It might not actually catch upon them right now, but it's definitely going to catch upon them when they're on the other side spiritually, and that's when now they'll realize, like, oh my god, I can't believe this. No, there's so many things that I actually thought that I did, or if I had to ignore, it won't actually come after me. But it just happens that now it actually is like right there in front of you, man. So if you're just gonna be spiritual and you're doing it because so many people are doing it, it's not gonna actually work out well for you, man. Because first of all, man, when you become spiritual, man, you have to realize something, that you have something very powerful which you're supposed to offer in this world, right? And if your way of doing your spiritual essence is not actually giving your energy to somebody else out there, it might not be somebody, but it can be like nature. Like when you like literally do your sun gazing, walking with your barefoot, connecting with the trees, connecting with the plants, doing your gardening, you're giving your energy to the nature, and it it literally bounce back. No, how to put this? It actually goes back to you in a sense that it rejuvenates you. It's like one thing when you help people, they have to literally like give their energy back to you. How they're doing that? They have to pay for your time, right? They have to pay for your time. So one of the reasons why you might want to be spiritual, it actually is that people are doing it, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But if your focus is on the fact that Ra is actually doing this and that and everything is working out well for them, what happens if it doesn't work out for you? How are you going to feel? See, how are you going to feel? You look at somebody else who's actually doing it, like being spiritual, telling you this, and whenever they do it, things just connect. But when it comes to you, it doesn't. And you're literally following each and everything that you're listening, right? Then it doesn't. What will happen to you? How are you going to think? How are you going to think? I'm just being honest, man. Like, your intentions of becoming spiritual, they have to be clean, honest. Why are you doing it? Because the first thing that has to be like, I just want to connect. When I'm able to connect, I just want to realize what I haven't known about myself right now. That is genuine. You're not actually doing it because you want some money, right? You're not actually doing it because you want a job, you want this and this and that. That will come later. You should actually focus on what is it that you have to do as a person who's literally working towards, setting out the plans. Where am I gonna go to apply for this position? When am I gonna do it? How many times am I gonna do it? Regardless of you having to manifest about it, having to actually be one with your mind, there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't wanna be a spiritual person because you see people that their life is actually changing. If their life is changing in a physical, material way, right, that really doesn't add value in their lives. It actually is a package that comes with it, right? It might happen that you have started to be spiritual and now you like fast tracking, not actually going within, but now you want the physical reality to be, part of your life. That will never happen. Because, I know that so many times will tell you that when you do this is spiritual. Most of the time, like the things that we say, I'm going to speak for myself, right? The things that I say, most of the time I'm like, this is spiritual, that is spiritual, but not everything that I'm saying is actually spiritual. You get what I'm saying? Me sitting here right now, talking to you, it doesn't really make me spiritual, what I'm really saying to you, right? Like the spirit is an essence of an energy that connects with nature, whereby there's a prolonging of life force that keeps on rejuvenating your blood cells with the frequency and vibration which you're going to be able to receive and understand everything about yourself to the highest degree of your vibration and frequency, right? Being on that dimension. You get what I'm saying? That is the spiritual force overall. See, when I talk about you being spiritual, that's spiritual, I'm trying to influence you to understand and tap into your inner presence, right? That is hidden really far away from you. Not to say that everything that I say is spiritual, it's not really like spiritual. You get what I'm saying? It's not really spiritual. If you're saying that you're doing a spiritual practice and most of the time you spend most of the time trying to focus on anything that is material, talking about you having to overcome the attachment and all of that, it's not really spiritual. It's something which you need to do to actually be separated from things that are literally holding you down, right? From things because everything that, first of all, man, your body is part of the matrix, right? Your body is part of the matrix. Yes, it is flesh. It is part of the matrix because one of the reasons why you're unable to do other things, you're limited, right? You're unable to actually be at the fullest potential of expressing your abilities and all of that. You're limited. Why? You're in the material world. Your body is part of the material system as well. It is the matrix. It actually is the reason sometimes that it makes you not to tap into the things that you're supposed to. Like you're feeling this type of way, I'm supposed to do this, but your body's telling you another thing. You get what I'm saying? It's like now it is a war within you. You're having to go through this war that you have to actually conquer every single day. You're in war with yourself, right? Before you can be in the war with other people, any other surroundings in your life, you're in the war within yourself, and you have to learn how to conquer that. So if anything that you're doing that is spiritual, it doesn't actually come back to focusing to what is within and listening to your inner self, right? Then you're not spiritual at all. I'm telling you, you're not spiritual at all, because the only essence of spirituality is your spiritual presence that's within your soul. having to interact and connect with nature, becoming one with this nature and being able to see the parallels which actually are binding you not to see the true reality that's right there in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So anything that doesn't deal with your inward, how to heal, how to process hard things, how to be an alchemist and change anything that's negative to positive, how to literally like heal all the past experiences which was affecting you in your soul, in your spirit, right? If you're unable to tap into that, then you've never been spiritual at all. Okay, you've never really been spiritual at all. It doesn't invoke when you do your meditation to influence what's inside of you, because without it, you are unable to get into the depths of your mind and try to manipulate too many things into your own will and advantage, right? It's the same thing that happens when you're sleeping. See, when you're sleeping, you enter your highest degree of your brains. It's a part of a meditation that happens, takes form all the time. That is why you're able to be like in this transcending or astral plane and start to be in other dimensions. Although some of you guys, you don't understand that when you dream, you literally are part of other dimensions and other beings and entities, whereby now you are literally no longer a body, but you are like a soul in between the living and the dead, right? Which is the dead, the true reality, because the living is the real death. You get what I'm saying? So the moment when you wake up and you're on the other side sleeping and now you astral plane, definitely, man, you've actually entered yourself into a spiritual realm. That's what we mean when you talk about spiritual essence, your nature, your true reality, and the prospect of what makes you a complete whole person as a spiritual identity into this world, right? Definitely, when you start to do your meditation, you actually now enter your depths of your mind and do the very same thing. But now the difference is you're in control of it, because a lot of you guys, when you're dreaming and sleeping, you're unable to control your dreams because you don't even understand what's happening. You get like things that are gonna actually literally like make you be like feeling scared and all that, you know, challenges, right? You're unable to control that. But the moment when you enter your meditation side of everything that you're gonna do in order for you to be able to tap into your spiritual essence, you are able to control everything that's within and outside of you, right? That's when now you're getting in the depths of your mind. Most of the time it happens that when you start to do your meditation first, before you actually have to sleep, you start to actually having like hardcore, like astral plane activity dreams, right? You start to be in the essence to the point that now you're feeling it within that, oh my God, man, I just left my body. So what I always tell people that your soul leaves your body all the time when you dream, right? Because it's not like, you're literally not dreaming, you're not even sleeping. You're just having to reset your mind and be in the essence of healing what needs to be healed in your body. The long time you sleep, it is the easiest way for your body to get through to get things done properly without it getting to be disturbed, especially if you're going to go to bed with an empty stomach, right? That's like adding a lot of value in your essence, man. So part of the things of you being spiritual, it doesn't have to be like in a degree of something that is physical, because I'm trying to limit this whole thing that people have great ideas thinking that if I become spiritual, I'm going to have the next R1,000,000. Couple of days has come. Ra told me about a manifestation that I can do it, right? If I become tapped in and be spiritual, now I'm going to focus on literally manifesting money into my own reality. That doesn't happen. What happens to you then, right? What happens to you? I said this the other day that it's a problem now because spirituality is slowly turning into religion, right? The things and the prospects of what transpires at church and everything that you need to do when it comes to, you know, having to have this faith and all of that is that you going there because you're looking for something, right? And the moment when you don't get it, that's the problem. The moment when you don't get it, you start doubting yourself. You start doubting your faith. You start even like denying that there's an essence which people are saying that there's God, right? In an essence whereby I always tell people that God is a frequency but not a being, right? There's only a being when it comes into this reality as a carbon structure body, including the trees and nature, right? Which is the overall, the rocks, the waters is like literally the God in a physical essence, right? So you start to have like doubts. Oh my God, this is not happening. That's when now you find many people who are like literally like religious. They now start to actually go to a higher beta people that can actually give them things that are cults, which they can actually use to further enrich themselves and to, you know, become that successful, man. Because now they were like, nah, I've done it all, man. I've done everything. I've done this and this and that. It's not actually working out. Now I have to actually go to this dark hole and try to, you know, change my life. Because at some point, man, you come to a point, like at some point, like I wouldn't actually blame anybody, because when you're too confused, not knowing what you're actually doing, you end up getting lost. And when you get lost, you end up getting yourself into things which is going to be very hard for you to actually be able to take yourself out of them, right? It becomes very difficult. That is why everything, it doesn't matter what it is, man. At this point, it doesn't matter if it's religion, it's Christianity, or whatever that you believe in. Never enter things or be part of something because a group of people is actually doing it. And because you're seeing people are getting success out of it, you think that it's going to be the very same thing that happens to you. It will never be like that. Many of you guys, like, I'm just going to be honest, man. Many of you guys are lost souls, and many of you guys are going through karma cycle, right? There's some things which you were punished for when you were still living, before you reincarnated into this lifetime. I don't know how many times you've been reincarnating, right? But a lot of you guys, it's like even though you might try to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, it will never happen, because you have to understand that your true reality has been living into this plane for so long. You just keep on trapping yourself because of the things that you don't want to stop doing, right? Because you're still having to do the very same mistakes every single time. So it's like many of you guys will actually try to seek some help, but you won't actually get it overall completely. It always goes back to the essence of you looking inward, right? I've told people, listen, you are going through karma. You're going through traumatic experience, right? And people be like, no, I've never actually went through that growing up as a child. And I never wanna like dive deep in it, right? Because I'm careful who I'm helping. There's some people which come to me when they seek for help. I don't even actually interact with them. Why? Because the energies are saying that I shouldn't actually help this person. If I help this person, I will actually dig myself a hole. How am I saying that? Or how am I digging myself a hole? This person has been brought up here to live like through the karma cycle, and nobody's supposed to actually free them from it. It is like them having to pay what they did in their lives previously, which they don't understand. And sometimes I'll be like, didn't you have like traumatic experience growing up as a child? And be like, no, I never. But my focus would be in a depth whereby you still don't remember your traumas which you went through in different reincarnation life forms, right? You still don't remember. And it goes back down to you becoming spiritual, having to understand and remember everything that you ever went through. It might not be in this lifetime, but in previous other forms of lifetimes. Your brain is a big function of a huge capacity that can withstand and withhold billions, if not trillions, of information within. Everything that you might have actually lived, even though it's not this lifetime, but previous lifetimes, right? It's still recorded and stored there. That's where now it comes to the Akashic records. You have to actually now feather yourself in the spiritual essence, becoming inward and looking inside of you, right? Having to unlock all of those things. And people be like asking me, how do I do that? That's the thing, right? It's not a matter of me coming here and telling you that you need to unlock. You only are the person who's supposed to actually know that. When you, because if you're saying that, listen, Ra, I've been trying to do what you're saying that I should do, but I've never come across the inner wisdom of my past experience. It means that you're not actually getting even more deep, right? You're just actually doing the bare minimum. Because part of you being spiritual is literally like sacrificing, man. Like you literally have to sacrifice. If it means that you need to go through a 7 days of vegan diet of fasting and fruits, then you do that. If it means that you need to go like 2 or 3 days each and every week without eating, you do that, right? It's sacrifice. Some things are blocked because of your habits and your lifestyle. If you're unable to do your sacrifices, then it's not going to be easy for you to be able to tap into your Akashic records, because most of the time it's not even a matter of you having to work so hard on it in order for you to be tapped in. You just have to like do your sacrifices spiritually and make sure that you stop things that might be standing in your way, not to be able to further your full capacity of the essence that you have within you that makes you the great powerful source that lies with all the information dormant inside of your soul, for you to be able to open up that door and start to be in this reality of understanding everything about your past life. Then make that to your own advantage. Start changing everything that you need to in order for you to be at that essence and that level degree of your frequency vibration that leads you to the highest form of a dimension all the time, right? So you have to be in that circle. Make no mistake, man. Nobody, I might actually come here and be like, do this, do that, do this, but I'm not allowed to actually go even further in helping you to that point. You have to help yourself. Because one thing about helping people, I know that when you're doing it, generally, so many times, people now, they take advantage because they're looking to you for answers. Then they look at you as your God. I mean, as their God and all of that. Then they end up missing out the very important thing, that everything that you're actually being opened up to, you have to experience it alone, because you are the one who actually has to deal with everything that you went through in your life. It might not be in this present life right now, but the previous one, right? It always goes down to that. So it's one of those things that people be like, man, I am spiritual because I saw this and this and that. I saw this person doing this. Now, it shouldn't be like that, man. Be spiritual because your time allows you, man. There's going to be communications, your ancestors which are within, they're going to talk and communicate to you with numbers and tell you that you need to do this. Now it's time for that, you know. The numbers, like, they always change themselves because people are still having it hard to understand that the numbers are just languages, you know. Numbers, man, are just language. They're letters. If you can take all the numbers that you keep on seeing, right, and transverse them into letters, you'll end up making a spell that actually describe itself what it actually was trying to tell you and say at that time, right? Because definitely, man, if you're going to see like repeating numbers, frequency numbers, and it's actually a good thing. First for all, it's a good thing, it's positive. Number two, your ancestors are communicating with you because the universe does communicate in numbers. That's how it communicates. All the numbers are like spells, like letters and all of that. So when you have to record the multiple times you've been having those numbers and having to actually write them down, right, put them down in a sequence whereby you're literally intertwining with your mind. Because here goes another thing which I'm receiving now, that every time when you see these numbers, man, like, it's not a matter of you getting excited, oh my god, man, I'm seeing these numbers, bro. It's not a matter of that, but it's a matter of you having to feel what is actually happening at that time within yourself. How are you feeling? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you excited? Are you really like in a traumatic experience, or you're feeling so down and all of that? It all goes down to the energy. How are you feeling? If your energy is corresponding to the frequency numbers, the next thing that you're going to feel is an ear ringing in a different sound, right? It is an ear ring. Either you've been shown that there's something that's coming, or you've been actually been warned about something that's about to happen, right? So it's a matter of you having to use those things because it's part of a training, right? It's part of a training. Your inner guides want to see if you understand what is it that you're receiving, what level you're in right now. Are you going to be ignorant and be like, nah, man, I don't understand everything that I'm seeing, but I keep on seeing it? Because people will be like, bro, I keep on seeing numbers. Whoa, what does it mean? That's the thing, right? It's not like, listen, it's not about you having to come out there and trying to find out what it means, because any information can actually come out and be like, this means that, this means that. It actually confuses you at some point, right? It's all about you listening to yourself. I know that I'm actually spiritual now. I've started to be in a spiritual journey, or I've not started to be in a spiritual journey, but I've been seeing people talking about these numbers, and every time they speak about you being connected, right? It's something positive, man. Your inner guides are communicating with you, telling you that you're either walking a straight path if you're now on a spiritual journey, or if you've not actually entered that at the level of a spiritual essence, you need to start doing it. That's you heeding to the universe, right? That means that you need to do anything and everything that connects you with nature. And what connects you with nature? Meditation connects you with nature, your nature overall, because everything that you see outside of you is actually inside of you, including all the planets, right, which are connected to all of your chakras. You get what I'm saying? Your whole entire galaxy. I mean, the neural function and the link within your brain activity is the whole entire cosmos, right? One thing, but it is way greater. I mean, you are way greater than it, because with your energy and essence, you're able to manipulate nature and influence it the way that you want it to react. You can be able to do that. That's how you become greater than the whole entire essence, because it is your true like face, like your true identity, right? So when you heed to the universe, which is what? Your ether, right? Your antenna here, your electricity, right? When you heed to the universe, you're connecting with your spiritual essence, and that is by meditating, doing yoga, having to walk with your barefoot, eating fruits and vegetables, right? Making sure that your vegetables are raw. Spending more time in the garden, man. You know, spending more time in the garden, around trees, plants, nature, being one with the waters, right? Having to clean yourself now, time and again. Having to play with those rocks, having to be in the mountain, man. having to walk shirtless at some point or be at your space but shirtless, right? That is you connecting and healing to the universe. When you do that, now you bring yourself closer into the identity of receiving the frequency vibration at its best for you to become the better version of yourself all the time. It happens all the time, and that's how you become. Like, it's something simple. As soon as you start seeing synchronicity numbers from your digital clock, right? Which I don't want you guys to pay more attention to it, because every time you pay much attention to the numbers of the time and all of that, you literally like being like fast tracking everything for you to even age quickly. No, not to actually be in this connectivity for you to understand that you are like above the matrix, above the time and all of that. All of it is just an illusion. Yes, it does exist here in this plane reality, because it is meant to make sure that people are trapped here. But anywhere else out of your like dimension or out of this dome, there's no such thing as time, man. It doesn't really exist. It only exists here in this plane. Earth is the only planet that has time. Other dimensions don't have time. That is why most of the time when you dream or when you become astral, you never see and come across time, right? You never see or come across time, because it is not real. It is just an illusion. It only it becomes in this reality, in this plane, because it's actually been designed to be part of the matrix, which is the one same thing that will entrap you. Same thing that happens with the calendar. It doesn't matter if it's an African calendar, right? It doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter, although it has and carries information that can actually expand you, which is great. I can't take that away, because it's the truth. But everything that has to do with the calendar, a day having to actually follow, and the time, definitely it actually slows you down, right? It fast tracks so many things that it slows you down in a mental state that it'll be very difficult for you to break from this reality, from this matrix, when the time comes, when you have to be absent of this planet by you having to die. You get what I'm saying? So you have to overcome any entrapment. But when you become spiritual and be connected, you see the synchronicity numbers and all of that. It is a language that tells you that now it is a time for you to like heed to the universe, right? Be connected with the highest form of who you truly are, so that everything has to be revealed to you. And now you understand everything about yourself without having to go in so many places trying to find out, man. You do it. You do it. You're becoming it. And that is what it means to be spiritual, man. Right? You have all the answers that are within you. You carry this potent power within you that it is actually regarded as one of the most precious things, because your body is precious, man. What you carry inside, man, it's like, damn, we can talk the whole time, millennium years about it, man. We'll never ever come to this aspect of saying that we've said it all. It doesn't. Because the same thing that happens, man, as a carbon person living into this planet, every time you have a thought to create, right? You think about something and you start walking with your bare foot, the universe keeps on expanding, the ether keeps on expanding. I've seen like great scientists be like, how is it that the universe keeps on growing? It doesn't, we don't understand. We don't understand how is that the universe is growing. They'll never understand, man, because first of all, these people don't have chakras, they don't have a pineal gland, they don't have any connectivity to Kundalini, and all of those things. Like, it's hard for them to understand. They come down here listening to our videos, then they start making up some movies about us and talk about this, man. So many things, man. They've been making movies about us like it's crazy, bro. Like, they've been making so many things about us, and we act as if we don't see, right? So many characters, they've turned so many characters and twisted them, man. Like, definitely, bro, it's crazy. I've told people that every time when you don't see things as they are, you're looking at a mirage. But you have to make a way how to overcome that experience of that mirage for you to be able to see what's right there in front of you. Don't let anything be blinded because you're having people wearing suits, they're looking beautiful, charming, and all of that, thinking that what they actually have to say and talk to you about is actually true. Don't be like fooled like that, man. You have to look inward, man. Look at a person's soul when they speak, when they talk to you. Look at their eyes. Their eyes always have something to say and tell. The truth is there. The identity of everything and everything that they're doing, if whether or not it's genuine, it is there. It's all about you having to understand. But you won't be able to know that because you're still battling to overcome your experiences within you. You're still entrapped with this plane and still believing that, you know, you will die. You know, death is real. You get what I'm saying? And you're still having the battle to win from within before you can look into other battles in this world. See, people will be like focusing on the sky. Oh my God, aliens are coming. Listen, man, you are an alien. The word term has been made to make people feel scary, because when you say alien, it really does like trip people off, like, bro, that's so scary, because they've made you to believe that when you look at aliens, they're like really scary figures. Aliens are not like that completely, right? Those are different other creatures. But one thing I'll tell you is aliens are extraterrestrial beings, you Anunnaki, those who come from the heaven. I'm the living Anunnaki right here in front of you, man. I'm the living consciousness of the sun, definitely. So I come from other planes, not from this dome, right? I know my original state, where I really resonate and come from. And where I'm coming from, man, planet Zelente, there's so many crystals there, man. It's like the planet that keeps on actually hovering in different other planet system. Keeps on actually, like it's 10 times greater than the planet Earth itself. You get what I'm saying? So every time when they talk about aliens, you're like getting freaked out. You'll be amazed, man. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're gonna be amazed when the real spacecraft come into this reality and you see black people coming out of it, right? Because you'll be like expecting those alien figures, right? You'll be expecting that, man. That's not gonna, like, that's not what you're gonna see. You're gonna see your fellow brothers and sisters come out of the spacecraft, and it's gonna be like, oh my God, right? Oh my God. See, although that is happening, man, don't pay attention to what's really like being talked about. Yes, it is good to observe and see, but the beings that are gonna come here, they know already that you have all the power and the potential to even make spacecrafts like that. But because you're still living at your lower self, you're unable to do that, because you still have to deal with you having to overcome the matrix, and it's something that's getting to be very hard for you, right? There's a lot of an attachment towards you and everything that you do. And your other part of your life is thinking that I can never be able to live if I'm not driving a Mercedes Benz, BMW, if I'm not having this big mansion house, if I'm not having this clothes in 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. That is an attachment. You think that this is the overall what creates your life to actually put you in the standard to make people think that yes, you've actually made it. Actually, you've not even made it. You are less far from that, man. I see people that are billionaires, they have a lot of money, man. They end up like changing their nose, changing their hair, taking their eye, putting it in a different side, because they don't know what to do with their money, man. Even the billionaires, the people that are rich, man, they're literally like sad, right? Because money is not everything, but the material world is not everything. As a matter of fact, every time in the material world keeps on improving, you should be worried. Why? Because more deaths keep on happening. Everything's gonna be replaced. Nature's going to be replaced. You will be replaced by the AI technology. They take your soul away from your body and put it in a conscious level in a robotic system to control and easily control and manipulate you. Right? You should be worried every time when the system of the matrix improves. There's going to be more deaths, less people on this planet. This means that they're taking overall away what you having to be an ascended person rightfully. You won't be able to be tapped into that, because now you're going to be part of the mass of the people that are going to help you to like be misled all the time. So you have to understand yourself, man. Why are you being spiritual? Already you're spiritual. The spirituality is an idea of you standing up and doing something about it, right? Already you're spiritual. Spirituality is just an idea, you standing up and being like having to like do things, do something, having to meditate, having to walk with your barefoot, having to change your diet, having to stop eating meat. It is an idea that brings you a step closer to your inner self, because it always comes down from within, not outside. Everything that's outside of human doesn't really matter. Telling you, man. And including your mother, including your father, including your sister, including your brother, including your partner, including your children. It doesn't matter. Everything that really matters is what's inside of you. And that's what makes you spiritual. If let's say like you have a mansion, a big house, man. If you happen to lose that big house, now going back to that life, how are you going to feel? Are you going to be at peace? Or are you going to feel like you're going to be in a destructive mode, feeling that I'm going to kill myself? Because if that's the way, you've never been spiritual. Because spirituality is all about what happens within. For everything that actually happens outside of you, how does it affect you inside? I'm this person that if I were to lose, like, let me just be honest. If I were to lose, I'm just making an example with my account. If I were to lose one of my accounts again, I'm not going to actually try to actually get it back. I'm going to be at peace. Life goes on. If I happen that I have R1,000,000 right now and I lose it all, I'm gonna be at peace. Life goes on. That's what it means to be spiritual. Not to say that you're letting things go or you're just letting things go easily like that. No, it's you having to say that I'm not attached to this material world no matter what happens. I'm not attached to anybody else no matter what happens. Yes, I will acknowledge the fact that they are not there. Things happened and something transpired and they actually got hurt or they died. But I'm not attached to it to the point that now I'm literally stooding myself so low to the point that I'll say words like, I'm going to kill myself as well because my partner is no longer living. I'm going to kill myself because my partner is cheating on me. I'm going to kill myself because I lost everything. See, you've been lying to yourself all the time and you've never been spiritual fully, but you've been a materialistic person all the time because you regard the material as something that makes who you are, which is not the truth. What makes who you are is what you feel inside, not what you see, not what you live, not what you eat, not what you do in your daily basis, but what happens inside. That makes your true identity, who you truly are as a person spiritually, and that is you tapping into your spiritual essence, man. So I just wanted to encourage you guys, like, don't get into spirituality for wrong reasons because you'll end up messing. Because being spiritual, man, you're gonna open yourself into this wormhole whereby now you interact with these entities, which they want to test you to see if what you're doing, you're taking chances or you're genuine about it. And I'm telling you, man, if you think that you're just gonna take chances, I'm not actually scaring you or putting a fear mongering on you. I'm just being honest with you. If you think that you're gonna be like spiritual and your intentions are not good, bro, those entities that are yours, hear me, those entities which are yours inside of you, they will destroy you because they want to see you at your lowest self all the time. They will destroy you. I'm not talking about any other entities or demons or anything that you might actually want to call and say this is what's happening. I'm talking about the entities, the low entities that are inside of you. They'll come about and destroy you. If you think that it's just going to be spiritual for only the matter of you having to be rich and be successful and all that, it's not going to work like that, man. I'm telling you, man. They will take those tools and destroy you with it, and you'll be destroyed because your intentions are not good. Especially if you've not actually aligned everything that you need to, man. Like telling you something easy. Walking with your bare foot, you literally help yourself to align your chakra, which is your root chakra, so to say. Your root chakra, because it is connected. It is the first chakra which is there around your sexual area, right? Your sexual organ. It is there. It connects. When you work with your barefoot, remember, all of your, like under your feet, you've got chakras, which are the eyes, including your hands. You've got also other chakras, right, which are connected with the elements. The moment you step foot and walk on the floor, all of this communication starts to interact with your chakras within. Same thing that happens when you start to actually put your, like, why you see like animals walking with your foot and legs like this. They're connecting. And why is it that they're becoming strong? They are connected. Now, if you were to like spend more time walking with your barefoot, having to be like doing gardening, having your hands to be attached with the ground, you become connected with this magnetic field to the point that your communication interaction is able to manipulate it to your goodwill and advantage of connecting all of the essence within your whole entire body and start to get a healing. Your blood starts to actually becomes in a different type of way, bro. So walking with your barefoot initially, man, by not working so hard, your root chakra will be balanced. Right? Your root chakra will be balanced. That is why if you're having trouble not to be able to walk properly, right? The reason for that is the shoes that you've been given or been taught, or we all been taught that we need to walk with our shoes, wearing shoes. The reason why, if you don't actually walk correctly, the moment when you start walking with your barefoot, all of that starts to actually be fixed. I'm telling you, all of that starts to be fixed. You'll start to walk accordingly well. Because now you're going back to your true nature, which is actually fixing so many things that are going in this way. In an X mode. Now you're actually making things to be parallel. So when you walk with your barefoot, man, I'm telling you, the first stages of unlocking something within will be your root chakra. Why am I saying this? Sometimes it's not in a matter of you having to do something in order for you to unlock something. Like when you become in the nature, everything happens on its own. Everything happens on its own. Like I told you the other day that your skin is a living being. different from your body. It is able to download and receive information and breathe in and out. I even taught you the breathing technique that you can do in the water some time ago when I was doing some of my videos. How you can breathe in the water without using your nose, but your skin. You get what I'm saying? Bro, like, when I enter meditation, I can just close my eyes like this. I'm tapped in. Done. That's it. I don't need to work. I don't need to, like, be in a longer meditation in order for me to be tapped in, because that's what's happening. A lot of you guys, when you meditate, you're not getting tapped in, and when you're not getting tapped in, you get bored, and when you get bored, you feel like, no, what I'm doing is actually crazy. Why? Because you're not actually tapped in. That's the problem. By just closing my eyes, I'm tapped in already. I send messages to other entities and beings outside of this dome easily, like that. If you're on an open space whereby you can receive information, I can do that to you as well. If you're only open to that expectation, having to say that if you only align, you'll be able to receive the information that I'm going to be sending to you. And we'll interact it when the time comes in the astral plane, right? I'm just like, I close my eyes like this, I'm tapped in, zoom, done. But with you guys, you have to work extra mile, man. I don't really like meditate a lot, man, like you do, like you guys have to. Because when you are at this essence, you don't need to do a lot of things. You just do the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? You just do the bare minimum because you know already how energy works. Literally, when I look into the sky, I see different patterns in parallel. I don't need to actually like spend more like 15 minutes to see them. By just looking in the sky, already I see the life forms, bro. Because in the sky, there's a life form. The same thing that you see in the water. When you put your water for a longer of time, it takes like 5 to 10 minutes to start to see life form. There's a particle of water that's connected that gives us the breathing and the oxygen that we're living in to, or we're supposed to live into. No, not the oxygen, I'm sorry, the hydrogen. The oxygen is a poison, the chemtrails. The oxygen is a poison. But there are life forms that I see, and not only just life forms, but patterns, right? Patterns of what is the matrix and how to manipulate and maneuver it. By just looking out in the sky right now, man, I see everything. I don't need to be, because I'm tapped in. And that's why a lot of you guys now are finding it difficult to be tapped in. You spend more time in the meditation not getting any connection. Why? There's still a lot you need to overcome and do and build yourself through. If you're not gonna do that, then I'm telling you, man, like I'm telling you, you just like, you can't eat like you can't eat pork yesterday. Bear in mind that meat, in order for the meat to digest in your system, it takes 7 days, bro. Pork, red meat is even worse. It takes more than that. You can't eat pork day before yesterday and expect it that when you start to meditate, you'll be tapped in and start to connect. It's impossible. You just cannot, man. Like food overall, the more you consume food, it takes you way further away from your spiritual sense, from your God, universe, right? The more you eat, it takes you way further. Now imagine now if you're consuming meat, what's gonna happen? You'll never be tapped in, man, I'm telling you. You'll never be tapped in. That's the thing, man. People see me like, "Wow, you're losing weight." Sacrifices, bro. I don't eat. Sometimes I'll go like days without eating. Sacrifices. That's it. That's what it means to be spiritual. My diet is raw vegetables, blended, and fruits. That is my diet. That's like 95% of my diet, bro. 95% of my diet. Right? Because you won't be, like I'm telling you, man, if you learn to know the better way of eating and consuming and making sure that what you consume the most is fruits and vegetables that are raw, not cooked, raw vegetables, bro. I am telling you, you'll understand what it means and what it feels to be tapped in, to be it. Not trying to be it, be it. Because if you're trying to be it, you're in the essence of a human being, right? You're not the original aspect of who you're supposed to be. You have to be it. Don't try to be it. Because when you try, chances are you won't get there. But when you become it, you'll definitely get there because you're already there. Let me repeat that. Oh my God. When you become it, You are definitely there. Right? Already. You don't need to work hard. No one's gonna come and stand in your way, bro. So I'm telling you, man, like, you have to be at this fullest essence, man, and realize so much power you have within, man. Like, stop looking for answers to me or anybody else. Because if you're thinking like that, definitely you, like, in your mind, Ra is actually, like, you know, above. And I'm not above you or anybody. When you look at somebody who might carry and possess so much information about a lot of things, right? And you start seeking answers from them, it means that now you're subject to their energy, right? You're subject to their energy and you think that they're above you. Nobody has the answers you're looking for but yourself. Until you guys learn to do that, you'll never be misled. Because that's the thing, man. So many people are getting misled because they look at other people as gurus. Like I told you, I'm not a guru, man. I'm not a guru. They look at other people like, oh my God, this person is a guru. I'm not a guru, bro. But if you were to be in my presence, bro, bro, like if you were to be in my presence, your energy will start to change. You'll feel the type of way. That's why I don't like being like in public the most. I don't want to actually meet with you guys, you know. But if you were to be in my presence, bro, like you literally feel my vibration. Like, no, man, this guy is actually powerful. He's not actually claiming. Because a lot of people, they claim to be spiritual, but they're not even doing it, man. They're not doing it. They claim to be spiritual, right? Like, if you were to be in my presence, bro, I'm not actually bragging. I wasn't supposed to actually speak about this anyway, because it's gonna sound like I'm bragging. Because many people are against the whole thing that you're supposed to be like an ascended person, you know. They don't understand that at some point you have to, like, you know. But if you were to be in my presence, man, you'll start to say, like, no, this person really is what he's actually saying. Everywhere when I go, people like look at me, man, like they look at me like, I know that, like, some feel like, oh man, this person is like an angel. I feel like this essence, this bro, like, I don't want to talk so much, bro, about this, but I'm telling you, man, you will feel the essence that you have the very same thing within you all the time. You have the very same essence within you all the time. Never look at other people for answers when you have all those answers within you, right? You just need to realize. Realization is important, man. Self-realization is important. It's everything for you to be at this higher level of your essence. Who you supposed to be, who you meant to be, man. So I was just encouraging you guys, like, make sure that you be spiritual. I'm not saying don't be spiritual, but your intentions should be good. And it always comes down to your inner self, not what's outside of you, right? If it has anything to do with what's outside of you, then it is a problem. Everything that you're going to do that's inside of you literally will affect what's outside of you. And now you'll start to gain and reap the benefits of it. That's what it is. That's what it is. And that's how it should actually be looked into all the time. So I hope you received this message very well. If you're new on my channel, thank you very much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe, press that like button, leave a comment, how was the video, and let us know. Let us know. Like, stay well, man. Be one with your higher self and connect all the time. Don't let anybody take you away from it. Never. Don't forget to meditate. Don't forget to sun gaze. Don't forget to keep up with your healthy diet. Don't forget to do yoga, and don't forget to detox your body each and every week, once or twice a week. It is important. I love you so much, man. As you know it, Grand Rising, love, and cosmic light. The moment you've been waiting for, the book is finally out, How to Do the 5 Daily Ra Ascending Practice. You can get it on Amazon, ebook, and your paperback. It's going to be a very exciting information that you're going to get and receive in order for you to be able to become the ascended person that you're meant to be. Going down to the book is how the world you're living in today is changing to something great that is yet to transform many people's lives to extraordinary spiritual journey. Ra is simply assisting many that could be lost in the unexpected spiritual changes. See, the ebook is $633, paperbacks $1533. You can get it online and start reading your book. This will improve the way for you to grow spiritually. You want to be an ascended person, and this is the way to go.